everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. This week's video is going to be a little bit different from my typical video. This week's video is actually going to be a celebration video. For those of you that have been paying attention, you realize that this week this channel hit its first major milestone in that we broke 1,000 subscribers. So I want to send a huge thank you out to all my viewers, followers, and subscribers. I couldn't have done this without you. I also want to send a special thank you out to all of you that have been with me since the beginning. If you've been following me for a while, I want you to go ahead and post in the comment section down below. Let me know which video it was that you joined the channel. I'd love to see how long some of you have been with me. Now, for those of you that haven't been with the channel as long as some of these other guys, this video, what I want to do is I want to take you through a bit of the history of this channel. I want to explain to you why it was I started this channel, and then I'm going to start showing you some of my old videos so you can see how this channel has evolved from where it first started, and then I'm going to finish up the video with some of my bloopers. So you can have a little bit of a laugh at my expense as you realize that I screw up quite a few takes, as I just about did there, and some weird things kind of happen when you film out in public. To start off, I want to explain why it was I even started the channel to begin with. And it was actually for the laughable purpose of I was just bored. At the time, I literally had an hour and 15-minute commute 5 days a week, and it's LA traffic, which means I was only doing about 5 to 10 miles an hour at any given time, and I was bored out of my mind. For those of you that have been with the channel for a while, you may remember this time as me just sitting in my Mark IV Supra, driving around talking about cars. For those of you that are newer to the channel, you might be thinking, Mark IV Supra, how the heck are you bored driving a Mark IV Supra? Well, like I said, I was in traffic. I was only doing about 5 to 10 miles an hour, and it was literally taking me an hour and 15 minutes to get 16.5 miles. So it doesn't matter really what car you're in. If you're going that slow, you're gonna be bored. And it occurred to me that that's an hour and 15 minutes out of the day where literally I was just sitting there doing not much of anything. So I figured to keep myself entertained, I like cars, might as well talk about cars. So what I did is I found my old GoPro Hero 5, set it up on the windshield of my car, and as I was driving home, I would talk about previous cars I'd owned, like the R32 GTR or the RX-7. Or I would talk about various other car-related issues. And that was great. You know, it gave me something to do, and then I'd get home and I would edit it. And like I said, it was kind of fun, and it gave me a creative outlook at a point in time in my life where everything I was doing was very, very technical. But something changed, something major that affected the entire world, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. COVID struck. And at that point in time, the whole world basically shut down. I no longer had my hour and 15-minute commute. I was just stuck at home all day. So I decided to keep the channel going, and instead of driving around talking, because I didn't have anywhere to drive to, I would just make the videos in my bedroom. And I'm sure we can all agree those were probably some of the worst videos I did. They really weren't all that interesting, and visually they were very boring, and that did not last long. And I realized if I wanted to keep going with the channel, I was gonna have to evolve. At that point in time, I actually realized something. If I'm stuck home, so is everybody else. So I thought this would have been a great opportunity to evolve the channel and kind of open up the ability of things I could do, and that means like shooting outside of the car. I decided to try and shoot at places like a park, but I was amazingly shocked at just how busy parks were. Here we were supposed to be socially isolating and distancing, and yet the parks were absolutely packed. But there was another venue that was as empty as a ghost town, and that was shopping malls. It was one of those things where they had to shut down, so no one had a reason to be there, which meant they had open parking lots where I didn't have to worry about people walking through my shots, making noise, or various other things happening. And that really opened things up for me. I found a nice place to shoot that was covered, so I didn't have to worry about being in the hot California sun, and I was able to kind of expand what it was I was shooting. At that point in time also, it was a great time because, well, I still had some car friends, and they were willing to meet up, and that's when I got to expand even more by talking about the comparison of the Mark IV Supra with various other cars. That's when Will came in with his FDRX-7. That's also where a second Will from Las Vegas came in with his Mark V Supra, and we got to do a direct comparison with the Mark V versus the Mark IV. And this is also the time that I met Mike, and he was able to come in with his R32 and we could compare it directly with the SUPRA. So like I said, this was a time where the channel really decided to grow. I also started to upgrade my equipment. I upgraded to a Hero 8. I got the media mod, I got wireless microphones, and I think that's where the quality really started to take off. However, there is one regret I had about starting the channel, and that was I started it really late in the build of the SUPRA. When you take a look at the SUPRA build, I kind of started behind the ball, in that I had done almost every major modification I was going to do to the car. By the time I started the channel, I had already converted from the twin turbo to the single, and I didn't record it because I didn't have a channel then. I had already upgraded the suspension. I had already done the intercooler. I had done the radiator, did the valve stem seals. I'd refinished the entire interior because the dash was just thrashed. And that was all videos that I had missed making. But with the SUPRA running to a close, and it was pretty much done by the time I sold it, it was time to move on to a new platform. And that's when I swapped over to the R35 GTR. And that was great because one, you got to see the adventure as I flew all the way up to Seattle to pick this car up and drive it home over 3 days. Also, I had a brand new platform that was mostly stock, which means there is a lot of work to do to this car and a lot of work I haven't done yet, which means there is modifications coming. It also allowed me to reset my premise where I compared the GTR with other cars. And that's why all of a sudden you see the R35 GTR versus the Mark IV Supra. I compared it to the R32 GTR, and I'm sure there's more people out there with cars. In fact, I have someone coming in next week, hopefully, where we're gonna compare the GTR with another favorite car of mine. I don't want to tell you what that is yet, but I'm hoping it comes through. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm super excited because it was my dream car back when I was in high school. So as you can see, the channel has really evolved, and I'd like to thank all of you that have been sticking with me for this long. I couldn't have done this without you. Now, for those of you that have been brave enough and have the constitution to make it to the end of this video, I'm gonna end it with bloopers. So, I don't do every take perfectly. I do mess things up. Weird things do happen to me because I am out in public. So enjoy some bloopers. Today I'm doing a video. No, I don't say video. If you're like, no. We've seen the press releases from BMW, from Toyota, blah, blah, blah. This plastic, I really want to try this again. Everything's made by BMW. It's pretty much a, back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in to boost without having an issue. These, if you're not pushing the, I've recently sold my, even though the Supra does have a rear seat, these other more notorious, comes with these lightened weight, 35,000. I hope you like this video. No, let's say we do this again. This is how you become a millionaire. And that's just personal. It had a Borg Warner it was a 60 SXE 3 as a flub that. Really, Nissan hasn't really kept up with that twin I saw, a putty tat. California is kind of one of the birthplaces of street racing in California. BMW, I wanted to tell you, helicopter or the roof or something like that, because that's something you can consider them exotics. Thank you for ruining my take, you because you just want to destroy your car and you're 12 years old. It's actually going to give you a lot of insight on what you might expect from skateboard race on the show. And I will not compromise on our definition of an exotic car. Why? I'll be doing a little video on someone driving through my shop. I live in Los Angeles. The exterior of the car, and that plane's back. Just stop right now. GTR, before I committed as a daily driver. Whew, that is some wind. It is good. So if you're more concerned with having fun, we want in the car, of course, being, it does kind of, and there we go. That is the history of this channel as well as why I started it. Once again, I want to send a huge thank you out to all of you that have been viewers and subscribers since the beginning. I couldn't have done this without you. For those of you where this may be your first video or you're new to the channel, don't forget to check out, I have a whole bunch of content involving the GTR, my old Mark IV Supra, I've got some RX-7s, I got some R32 GTR stuff. I got a whole bunch of content for you. If you like this video, go and hit that thumbs up button to let me know. It does help the channel out a lot. If you want to see more automotive, particularly GTR content in the future, go and subscribe to my channel. You can now follow me on all forms of social media, which include Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and now I have a TikTok account, and I'll leave links to all of that down in the description down below. If you'd like to support the channel, I have now opened up the JD Archer shop. If you go to jdarcher.bigcartel.com, you can take a look at a limited selection of t-shirts, hats, and hoodies I have, and there's plenty of more designs on the way. Like I said before, if you've been following this channel for a while, go ahead and post in the comment section down below. Let me know how long you've been with the channel and which video it was that got you to subscribe. I can't wait to hear from all of you. I thank you all for watching, and until next time, forget everything else, focus on the finish line.